Hello! We are back here in Ilex Forest. I have a weird pop-up on my screen over there. I don't know what happened, but we got an X attack, which I think I've gone over and probably insulted several times at this point. But this guy down here, I'm going to explain what he gives you so I can start talking about it right away and it doesn't drag on and become irritating. But he gives the Headbutt TM, which in this game is a Headbutt TM. So, just to kind of let you know, it's a normal type attack, but in this game it has a special effect where some normal type attacks do not have a special effect out of battle, not in battle. Like, Body Slam obviously has 30% to paralyze, but here you can headbutt trees, which is actually kind of useful. Can I even show this off out of interest? I don't think I'm going to use Headbutt on anything, so I might just give it to Quilava to kind of show it off, maybe? Yeah, we'll do it. It's not really necessary. What moves? Oh, we'll just get rid of Quick Attack. Actually, probably should have gotten rid of Leer. Yeah, I'm slurring my words today. I was doing it in class as well, but we can now Headbutt it. And it's kind of like an HM. And sometimes we'll get wild Pokemon, actually most of the time. And look at that, one of the Pokemon that I was going to talk about. There are 4 new Pokemon to talk about here. Yeah, of course you're just going to stall. But there are 4 new Pokemon that are available at this time. I believe there's 2 more that become available in certain trees later. One of them is very far away from now. This is going to take forever. So even though I wall it, I understand it's kind of dumb, but I'm going to switch. But Pineco is one of them. Pineco is incredibly... I should have seen that coming. Thank God for level advantages, am I right? But Pineco is incredibly defensive. I'm just going to move on. But it is a solo bug type until it evolves. It becomes Fortress at kind of a late level. It becomes a steel bug type, which is insanely good. You're only weak to fire. Well, I guess I should explain. Your biggest weakness is fire. There are several good things that come with being a steel type that I kind of haven't really been able to talk about because, 1, there's no steel type yet that we can even catch. And Fortress is a long way. But steel types, you're immune to poison, which is great because you can't be toxic. You can't get poison sting and poisoned. It is great. You also have several resistances. It is insane how many resistances are. In later Generation 6, they kind of go back on that because steel resists so much stuff in this generation and for the next 2, 3. It's actually impressive how much it resists. And that's why Fortress is so good. If you want a defensive wall that attacks rarely and uses status effects, or even Spikes. Spikes is good in this generation as well. Fortress is your Pokemon. Fortress is really good if you're willing to get there. It's kind of like my Ghastly. Right now it's really annoying and it'll take a while. But Fortress can actually attack. It has a decent attack stat. Problem is it's seen as a support Pokemon, which it wants that role. It does so well. I can't really say enough on that. Oh, I didn't remember there being a trainer here. Oh well, it's a bug catcher with stubby legs, which is funny. Ladybug. Well, we're gonna kill you. There are 3 other Pokemon. We'll go over the normal type. There's a normal type, Aipom. It's garbage. It doesn't become good for another 2 generations, and even then, it's kind of a lesser Kangaskhan, I guess. Actually, it depends. If you're talking Mega Kangaskhan, it's a lesser. If it's normal, it's hard to place it. It has some good moves, has some bad moves. Overall, it's just eh. Here, it's very bad, in my opinion. They're way better normal types. And we'll probably, I think even like, maybe Pidgey would have been better for a normal type. Yeah, we are actually going to switch. But, yeah, don't pick it up. Now we have two interesting cases. I probably should have put Pineco near these, but oh well, hindsight. We have Execute, which, as you remember, in the last generation was kind of far in the game, and also it didn't get Psychic by level up. This time it does, really late, and you have to keep it in Execute that whole time, which means you're not getting its full power for a while. But also, if you're not willing to wait that long, it does start with Confusion, which is very useful, and overall, it's not the worst choice. It's a Grass Psychic type, which gives you a weakness to Bug, which kind of doesn't matter in this generation. Kind of like the first one, there's very few Bug type moves. Here, there's a little more. Some people have Fury Cutter in their moveset, and a couple trainers have it, and maybe it'll become dangerous, but overall, it's not like a worrisome weakness. You are weak to Dark, but overall, it's not a bad type at all this time. It's heck, even back then it was a good type, but overall, it's not a bad Pokemon. It takes a while to get there, and it's a little slow. So if you're willing to kind of hang with it, it's kind of the same as Pineco. It'll get there. It will definitely get there. Now here's one Pokemon that doesn't need anything to do well. Is Heracross. Heracross does not evolve. It doesn't need to. It laughs at Pokemon that evolve, because Heracross hits so goddamn hard. Imagine Pinsir with higher attack and this early in the game. It shreds through so much of the game just because its attack set's so high. And we got Sweet Scent, which is hot garbage. But Heracross is a bug fighting type. The fighting type isn't really used here, and it gets Mega Horn, which makes it important. It really relies on the capabilities of its attack stat, and we are also in a new route, by the way. But Heracross is insanely good. It fits most teams flat out because of the lack of bug type or fighting types. Oh great, I have to switch. But overall, there's 3 good Pokemon here that you could choose for another team member. And also, there's a fun Pokemon to like use. Aipom is, I think it's bad for the generation, but it's usable. It's not like Ladybug or Paris, where they're goddamn hot garbage and you can barely use them. This has a little bit of a use. Plus, you just got Headbutt for stab, and I'm like burping, so excuse me. Actually, I might have Mud Slap. No, wait, Sandshrew doesn't get. I complained about this twice so far. Sandshrew doesn't get any ground moves by level up. I forget my own self. But overall, Ilex Forest is very, very good for Pokemon. It's probably, well, not Ilex Forest, the Headbutt TM, because Ilex Forest has Pineco, Execute, and Aipom. Heracross is not in there in the Headbutt trees. It's in Azalea Town, and I believe Route 31, but I could be wrong on that. I think it's Route 31. Might not be. But overall, great team member security if you need one of those. Headbutt's so good at this point. It's also 70 power, has a chance to flinch your opponent. It's very good. I don't know why I just checked if Ghastly was in the lead. But on this route, we also have some new Pokemon, which we have some good Pokemon here too. Actually, we have one very good one. We have one subpar, and we have one that's kind of interesting. Well, it appeared on screen. Snubbull only appears here in Crystal, so I can't really go into it with Gold and Silver, but in Crystal, it's a decent attacker. It's normal type. I think it's better than Aipom because it can evolve, and thank God it switched out. That was dangerous. But overall, it's not a bad Pokemon. I think there's better normal types later, and I will point them out. But overall, it's not bad, and if you're playing Crystal, maybe you're a fan of it, it's not bad looking. It's a fairy type later, which is an interesting choice, but you know what? It's their choice. It's a little weird. I have talked about this trainer real quick, but we also have Drowsy here on this route. Drowsy's a psychic type. Is not as good as it used to be. It used to be that Hypno had a higher special attack score than it does now. Now it has a higher special defense, which is good, but it loses its kind of capabilities that it used to have of being a mixed attacker. Now it's kind of like a tanky mixed attacker. It's a little weird. Overall, Hypno is not that good anymore because Abra is also on this route. And Abra, you saw me waste Pokemon Red with an Alakazam with one stab type. Here, we have a little more elemental coverage. Namely, the elemental punches, I can't speak, are available at a department store that we're coming close to. That means you don't even need to rely on the switch system. You can go buy an Ice Punch TM, a Thunder Punch TM, a Fire Punch, whatever you want, put it on your Abra, send it out to fight, and it'll still kill stuff because it is that strong. It evolves Kadabra, and even if you can't evolve into Alakazam, which it sucks if you can't, but it will still wreck this game. Even with dark types and steel types, Alakazam still holds Fire Punch for those steel types. The only problem is that it relies on maybe status to handle the dark types, namely Umbreon. There's only one major case of Umbreon. I'm just going to switch just in case. You always keep 1 PP just in case. But overall, Abra wrecks this game. And if I was willing to use it again, I'd pick it up right now. It is probably the no drawback team member in the game. One of the biggest. It really is just that strong. But, there's also another Pokemon. I'm not going to get into it because it kind of has something involved. I'm going to talk about it in probably another segment. And also, the reason I was going to point this trainer out, we're just going to ignore the last Pokemon for a minute, is that she picks up items. She is the person that will give you a Leaf Stone. So if you do pick up an Execute, you better get this fucking number because Leaf Stones don't exist anywhere else. We do have this trainer, but to be honest, I think that's kind of it for right now. So we got through a bunch of wild encounters and all that. Next time we're going to be heading to a new building, and if you actually look through the fence right here, we have a new type of mechanic that I'm going to have to talk about. And we have Goldenrod City around the horizon, so you know what? Till then.